Orb 1-5. Last episode was awful. Great, but awful. Don't want to have to go through that again. And I have a feeling, well, not directly going to be the same way. I'm going to be nervous the whole time because what are they about to do to my girl? I don't know. I'm afraid. I'm not looking forward to it. But we'll get into it and see. There's so many questions because I'm really curious about Novak and what goes on with him when he finds out, because he's gonna find out. Well, that's the question, I guess. Also, are they gonna get to her, assuming that they try and track her down before he finds out? If yes, it's gonna be really, really interesting to see what they do with them. If no, still going to be really interesting to see where he decides to go and who he aligns himself with and how far he's willing to push that. But now, what if she just gets away and then he doesn't find out, but then he can't find her? It could be interesting too. I don't know. Lots of different routes we can go. Most of them don't end in a great way for Jolenta, and I'm gonna hurt if that happens, but we'll have to see. Hopefully you enjoy. If you like it all, hit the like and subscribe. That's me. Feel free to stick around with the discussion. Let me comments. This series is going with the 15th episode of Orb. They said they would understand, and I said, you're an idiot. Yeah.
なぜなら冤罪で死ぬのは一人だが、異端を逃がすと最悪の場合、人類が皆死ぬかもしれんからだ。
He's looking at him like you believe it.
真剣な犯罪者じゃない。君が逃がしたのは全人類の敵かもしれんのだぞ。
No, enemy of the church. Let's not. Respect, my brother, respect.
そうか。バカがよくする大きく間違った解釈だ。神学を学び直せ。ノバクにこのことはまだ連絡してません。
Good, keep it that way.
ではこう伝える。
Oh.
ヨレンタは異端だった。さらに逃亡を図り、その際人質を取り負傷者を出したので、やむなくその場で処刑された。
Why don't you just tell her the truth? Or tell him the truth, huh?
位牌を川に流す前に焼死体を見せて、ノバクに娘は死んだと思わせろ。焼死体なんてどこにも。
Right here.
目の前にあるだろう。こいつを今から灰にする。
The worst. Anything to climb.
今、第八処刑場で。何？その。何早く言ってよ。今日はもう家に帰りたいのよ。娘さんが異端として捕まって脱走を図ったので、今処刑されているようです。
You're not a dumb man. The fuck is this hard to tell, huh? Fuck you.
賢い娘さんだったんだって。私は反対したんだがな。まだ将来があったのに。
Bro, he's just a villain. Just in life.
これだけは燃やさないでくれと頼んだんだ。忍べるように。本当はダメなんだが、特別にな。今は私も彼女のために祈らせてくれ。
Him just not showing anything is so much. It's gonna be interesting if he were to happen to run into her. If he were to happen to question about the death of the other No, who tried to protect her. What are we gonna say? He just ran off? We'll have to see.
これちゃんとできてるかわからないけど。
今日もみんなと神様のためにお仕事ありがとうございます。この手紙、父さんのために？
はい。やっぱり字が下手ですか？
なんて優しい子だ。これ
Letter he always kept on him.
父さんもその勤勉さを見習わなきゃな。
It's like the brightest scene ever in this series. Holy shit. It's usually so dark. Gotta get her some gloves.
本当ですか？
まあ、1週間後には届くよ。
Mhm.
お前にぴったりな手袋を注文した。やったー！神様がお前にそういう運命を与えてくださったんだ。だから嬉しいことがあったら、まず神様に感謝するんだ。いいね。
はい。お父様が嘘ついたんですもん。私にぴったりの手袋をくれるって言ったのに、大きさが全然違う。
Ah. You grow into
嘘
them.
をついたわけじゃないんだ。どこかで注文が行き違って、この件は誰も悪くないんだよ。お前を傷つけようとしたわけじゃない。
じゃあ、神様が悪い。
Where could it stem
だ
from?
ってお父様が言ってた。神様が私にこういう運命を与えたって。だから神様が悪い。
撤回しなさい。今すぐに。許されない発言だぞ。私はなんてこと。何をあんなに強く言うことがあるんだ。ひどいじゃないか。いえ、しかし信仰を教えることこそが最も優先されるべきで。でも目の前に泣いてる子供がいるのに、寄り添う以上に優先されることなんて。
Yelling at them and telling them they're unforgivable.
だ。
ごめんなさい。お父様は神様のために毎日お仕事してくれてるのに、神様が悪いって言っちゃってごめんなさい。
本当にすまなかった。この頃から私をどうか許してくれ。
それじゃ行ってきます。
And how he's so different in any and everything that pertains to her. How do you react and recover? He just went numb, realistically.
What? として処刑されたとは。私たちが寝てるうちに戦闘してたんだろ。すぐそこで。まったく恐ろしい話だ。クラボフスキさんから見て不審な行動はあったんですか？
Ah.
おう、そいつは気になる。
いや、なんというか全体的に不審な行動だらけで逆に取り立てでは。
そういやそうだ。一体誰が気づいたんだい？それが匿名で通報があったんだと。おお、 その誰かさんには感謝しなきゃな。おかげで夜もぐっすり寝られる。
Except for that guy.
クラボフスキさん、通報を入れたとか言ってませんでした？
ええ。半年前、隣町の図書館へ行ったら、道に本が落ちてて。
Who would have thunk that it tied him into this? It wasn't even his book.
それは隣町での話です。バデーニさんとは無関係ですよ。
なんだ、そうですか。
もし彼がどこにも研究を書き残してないとしたら、彼自身の研究も彼に至る歴史すべても消失することになる。もし万が一私の通報が原因だとしたら、私は
You better find something. Yep. Look at it, just hanging out there in the middle of the shelf.
言えない。たとえそうだとしても、あの通報内容で極刑はないだろう。さすがに。
But he willingly got caught because he came to prepare.
手紙差出人名なし。ルクレティウスの死。
That could only mean.
ルクレティウスは読んだことあ
There
り
you
ます。
go.
以上の死は私が思い出せる限りのルクレティウスである。
Wow.
断片的かつ走り書きのため正確さはない。足からず。
そちらに貧民が訪ねてきたら応対してほしいということだ。あなたがこの頼みを聞く可能性は低いと思う。あなたに得はないし、私に人望もない。頼みを聞き入れてもらう方法がない。だからこれは我ながら効力のない言葉だと思うが、心からお願いします。
Simply choose to have faith. Pinch of hope.
本題と無関係かつさまつな割に面倒で申し訳ない頼みなのだが、よろしければ貧民たちに何か教育を与えていただきたい。以上。
ルクレティウスという1500年前もの人物の死を目にしている。なぜならこうやって伝え書き残した人間がいるからだ。ではもし仮にバデーニさんの研究が
You have an opportunity.
生きていて、それは伝え書き残されるべきものだと
To someone like me,
いや
plenty of years down the
そう
line.
なんだ。消えても当然だ。むしろその方がいい。
It was a smart idea, but it's super sweet that he still thought of it.
俺は前約束をした。約束？あの目に変なのつけたやつと約束
No,
した。
I was waiting for this
あ
one.
の髪のあいつか。そうだ。あいつ言ってた。何の連絡もなくパンを渡さなくなって1ヶ月経ったらある場所へ行けって。ある場所？
This motherfucker, bro.
またパンもらえるかも。
隣
That's
町から
we're
わざわざいら
told.
したそうですが、私に何かご用で。
あんたか。目に変なのつけた人があんたをふさわしいって言ってた。
目に変なの。やはりあの手紙はバデーニさんの。
ついてきてほしい。
いや、それ
There's some documentation I must take you to. To the tunnels. You have to have a lot of faith right now to be walking here. All eyes are on you.
まだなんですか。
この下だ。目に変なのつけたやつ、俺たちのことを本だと言ってた。
は？本？ちょっと。
お前が
Wow.
いじめって言われた。
What the fuck? What a fucking way to do that.
全部で60ページある。そもそも本ってなんだ？あと髪切ったら伸びるまで帽子かぶれと言われたけど、なんでだ？
そういう世界を変えるために何が必要だと思いますか？血です。
私の番なのか。
Passing of the torch. Wow. What a fucking episode, dude. Past two have been so stellar, and just the methods to go through, from having a beginning half as twisted as it is, with Antony being as much of a villain as he is, to the internal struggles that Novak's consistently had his entire life, differentiating and balancing faith and family and his beliefs on both ends, to the struggle he goes through of just going numb and not knowing where to go and what to do, to finally seeing potential human in him for the first time. Although we have, I guess, with Yolenta, but really feels different here. To then such like a over the top and near comical sort of way of doing things, but fitting within Videni as a person, to use people as the thing to pass along his message, something that nobody would ever suspect or know. And it's such a beautiful way of doing it because nobody would ever know or suspect it. Nobody in the world, none of us. None of us. If you sat here and it was like, he's gonna write on these motherfuckers, you were lying. You are lying. There's no way you thought that he was doing that. So absolutely hilarious that that was his decision. But holy shit, was it a moment of like, what? Like, there's no way he thought of that. So cool. So fucking sick. I love it. I think it's great. This is gonna be a short one. There's some stuff happens, but it's not too much for me to say. This is just fucked up. And Tony's like literally the worst human alive. And I don't understand. I don't know if they said brother's name, and I'm sorry if they do, because he's a hero at the end of the day, and I forgot it. But the fact that he's willing to die for, I mean, I don't know if that's what he was, but even his last words, I guess he was prepared to die for somebody else, for knowing that they didn't commit the crimes that they're being accused of. And he's willing to take that on so that they can continue, is fucking absurd. Knows nothing about her, and he did it. What a lad. What a lad. But they burn him up anyways. Novak gets caught, and by the way, look what happens. And just nothing. No reaction or emotion. It's just another day until he finally has that moment after full-on reflection. But that's the part that scares you the most, right? Does he not care? Does he not know how to process and do anything here? Like, what's going through his mind? And you don't know because he doesn't say a word. He doesn't say a single word. So you have no fucking clue. And Tony's a fucking dick coming in here being like, I tried to do everything I could. You know, I'm going to pray for her. Here you go. I'm doing this. I'm bending the rules for you. Like, you didn't do it. Like, this fucking smirk on his face, dude. There, you douche. Fucking awful. Just destroyed. OP and some other stuff. The letter that he always carries alongside with him. Love to see that. Getting her the gloves, not being correct, and her immediate lashing out towards things being God's fault, which result in him lashing out, of course. But struggles to know exactly how to counter and how to handle this almost, right? It's the consistent thing that we've made note of with his difference in attitude almost, and just the way he acted when he's around her versus when he's around everybody else. This cold-blooded, zero emotion kind of killer, almost goofy in a way too at times, just like not taking anything too serious, to then turn into like how sweet and like energetic and happy he almost is every time he's talking to her. it's such a night and day difference of how he associates, how he approaches his daily life of work versus how he approaches his family life and his daughter. So when he's trying to be calm and trying to do things in a certain way, and she lashes out on the only other thing he has, Bro's gonna take it a sort of way. But then he's like, fuck, I didn't want to do that because she's everything else I have. So the inner conflict of like, how was I supposed to handle that when each end opposes itself? Or do I find that middle ground, or do I side alongside somebody? And it's the struggle that he's going to have to likely go through. Luckily, she grew to a point early on of knowing like what I can and can't say, but he crumbles in this moment and doesn't know what to do. And I think like maybe it's just I handled it the wrong way, but almost feel like in this moment too, it's admission of where he's realistically headed, right? I'll forever side alongside you. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have treated you that sort of way, and I'll be for you. So with her gone and out of the picture, is that potentially representative of where he plans to go? Does he plan to just continue back to his daily life, or does he plan to just oppose any and everything going forward? Is he going to be so broken that he won't be able to go back? I don't know, but we don't have to play that either. We can fully just go into he's just so like, I don't know what to do with myself. This is the only thing I have left at this point, and he goes directly back into just working and being the Novak that we kind of know. But maybe a little softer at the end of the day. Maybe he can't though, right? That's also where the issue comes in. You have taken so many from their family. Now that you've experienced that loss, can you continue to do that? Can you continue to differentiate those things because you no longer have that other life and that other person to go back to? Just as confused as I was where we were going to head with him as a character at the end of the last episode, I'm still in the same spot, but beyond intrigued. Super exciting stuff surrounding Novak. Super exciting stuff. Gets up in the first sign of emotion where he can let a little bit out and process what's maybe happening. And even then, his struggle to process it, right? I mentioned that he's smart. He might be able to suspect something or be suspicious on what's going on. But getting as awful news as that, do you have time to? I'm sure every emotion immediately went through his mind, and then he saw somebody burning right in front of him. I don't know if he was really thinking much past that point. And I don't know, even up to this point, if he's really thinking beyond and putting suspicion on others that this might not be the case. I think we might head down a weird route. I think we might head down a route where I don't know what we're doing with him. That's why it's so hard for me to say. But I would like to believe we head down a route where he finds her again and it flips his world upside down. And then we journey with them almost as the main characters, which would be fucking awesome. But I don't I don't know. I feel as cruel as they might want to be, we might not get that connection anymore. This is insane. This is insane with Grabowski being here and having to hear all of this and be like, fuck, was it me? Did I do this? Like, I heard somebody gave an anonymous tip. They had this book or something, and he's like, me? Like, the fuck are you talking about? But I love somebody being feeling almost as irrelevant as he did in the moments that he was present in the story, that he might be the main guy that we have to follow from this point on. Like, that's kind of crazy, isn't that? How insignificant he was. They could have hit it a little better. I'm just saying that it's just hanging right out. But I love the idea. I always love when somebody sacrifices themselves for the greater good of knowing that I've laid the traps and set everything up along the way for these things to be found, right? And I think that's so cool. And it's fucking sick that Videni did that. And he set things up. He's like, here, I'll be sweet. I'll give you the thing that you want. But at the same time, I'm going to need you, brother. So, of course, he awaits the arrival of somebody else. Which we end up getting from here. And we go down until the big reveal, which I love the tension that was built through it. It was obvious that they weren't going to just like take this out and start like shanking him or something. Like that was very apparent. But you got to at least view it from his eyes in this scenario. He doesn't know what the fuck's about to go down. This is just so insane to me. So insane. Also, like, not that much time has passed, I don't think. I don't know how many, but I'd assume even like a month. Like, that's a lot of hair growth in a month. These motherfuckers crazy. Wish that were me. What do you think is necessary to change the world? The truth, but also you gotta have some fucking balls like he did to plot everything out and do this. Crazy. Insane thought process and laying the groundwork from Bedeni here, and some really intriguing stuff going forward with where we want to head with Novak. No Yolanta sighting still. Really curious where we're going to head. Sick episode. Might be, it's top like 3 for me so far. This is like one of my favorites. So sick. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked it all, like and subscribe. Not feel free to check out the video in the channel, leave a comment for this series. I'll be back for the 16th episode very soon. It was a great one though.